Alright, fine, I'm just gonna check this out. Unfortunately, with how everything has happened with Draig, defense is no longer his best IVs. In fact, I would suggest plus speed or plus res. Even plus attack, because his attack is Garbo. And the reason is simply this. I know you have Bonfire and you can utilize the extra bit of defense, but going for anything else actually helps him so much more. If he prevents himself from getting doubled, it's super important. In fact, if he can double back, it's even better, because he has Special Fighter in this case. Okay, so the entire idea is, if your opponent hits you one time, -2 cooldown, you attack, -2, and then you... Well, if you're going to outspeed them... Oh, but you're not plus speed, that's right. That's why I would go plus speed. If you went plus speed, would work so much better. For me, I would go plus speed with... Is it Swift Stance for more res and more speed? Because that's what I would do. This way you have plus speed, 40 speed, 44 speed, much more likely to double back, and when they hit you it's 26 res, and that way your DC is getting used better. Special Fighter with Bonfire is pretty good, as long as you can double back. I would use Ignis actually, that way they attack -2, you attack -2, and then you attack with Ignis and get the kill. That's how I would do things. Though if you take one res shot, the Special Fighter gets knocked out because it's only 50% of your HP. And that's pretty easy to knock out when you only have 22 to 26 res. Now, with that said, Stalwart Sword also adds on top of that, so attack -6. So that would be, if you had more res, 4 more res, 4, 26, 32. Yeah. As long as you stay in Special Fighter, it works out. It's just plus defense doesn't really matter anymore, because you got a 6 attack defense, 6 attack drop on your foe during combat, and you have another 5 defense just by being within 2 spaces of an ally. So that means this adds another 11, 58 defense. So you're not taking any damage or very minimum damage. I would just go for plus speed nowadays, just to make sure you can double back. And I think that's a better build. So that would be my suggestion. Otherwise, this build is really, really good. Panic Ploy is really good on him, but with Special Fighter, Panic Ploy, the thing is, Draig is really capable as a main tank now. If you do Attack Smoke will actually work with Stalwart Sword. So you could drop 12 attack on them. And if you drop 12 attack on them, yeah, that's when things really pick up. So I personally would do Attack Smoke, Stalwart Sword, but he can run Panic Ploy really well. So for me, if I were to adjust anything, I go for plus speed. I would go for Swift Stance, Attack Smoke, Ignis, and that's what I would do. But yeah. Draig got really, really, really good. It's just different from what we expected. If you use DC, that's what I would suggest. If you switch off of DC, you got other builds available. But yeah. Plus defense just doesn't make the most sense on him anymore. And yeah, Steady Stance just doesn't make sense either. And Death Flow, unfortunately, he doesn't get a brave weapon. Okay. Another Myrrh, and this is the perfect Myrrh build.
Yeah.
Plus defense.
Ooh, joint tone defense.
My one and only issue with this build is just like... Hey, Ace.
Hello, Nims. Can you please review my hero? 9,197,877,304.
Sure, dude. My one and only issue with this build is just... I know for a fact... Well, I don't know for a fact, but I could probably guess this Myrrh was made back when plus defense was the ideal stat to go for her. Because you wanted to keep her Great Flame activated. Nowadays, though, I mean, plus defense still works, of course. 44 defense and only have to beat them by 1 point is huge. But this effectively goes into 49, so they could be 48 defense and your ability still triggers. I think plus attack might be better nowadays, but aside from that, like, there's really nothing to change. The build is fine. The build is really good, actually. Joint Hone Defense. Who's Joint Hone Defense from again?
Foresight.
Yeah.
But what would you... Oh, I guess just for in respect of getting her defense up. Alright, so my only suggestion is, if your Myrrh fights multiple enemy heroes, you go for Attack Smoke. But outside of that, Joint Hone Defense is so good, because that gets her 49, Great Flame takes her to 54, and up to 53, they can't double her. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, fantastic
Myrrh
job.
with her Refine is kind of crazy. That Refine makes it so that any IV other than plus HP is actually really good on her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even plus speed is good on Myrrh with the new Refine. That's kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, you're right. Speed Myrrh now makes so much sense, and I believe she had a super boon.
I will look that up to double check.
But yeah, all out for joint home defense. I mean, it ultimately makes some sense, but all right. So
Myrrh does indeed have a super boon in speed.
Yeah, that's from what I remember. So yeah, even plus speed Myrrhs work really well now. That's crazy, man.
So let's see, this Myrrh would have 34 visible speed, bumps up to 39 with Great Flame active, as long as she's within 2 spaces of any ally. And then you can bolster that even further with something like joint hone speed, joint drive speed, attack speed push if you really want to go crazy with it.
You got options. There are so many things to do. But yeah, that's Myrrh. Honestly, this is the exact same build I run on my Myrrh. Ether, distant counter, QR, joint home defense, I out shield. The only time I would say you might consider only thing you could consider is attack smoke if you fight multiple heroes, or switching the special to bonfire. But that's about it.
I think personally, when it comes to actually using Myrrh, if you want something that's going to have more balanced defenses, plus res is going to be the better IV to go for on that, simply because it'll be 39-41 for res and defense respectively, which combine that with Great Flame, which really is the most notable thing about Myrrh at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just, she's good. She's really good.
She's really good. Yep. All right, but yeah, the build itself is virtually perfect. It's just, well, it is perfect. It's just IVs is probably the only thing you ever want to change nowadays. But yeah, obviously defense works. 40 plus 10 plus 10 Clarisse. A maxed out Clarisse. Whoa, this is interesting. Okay, 44 HP, 52 attack, 41 speed, 31 defense, 26 res. Oh boy, Sniper's Bow, swap, Ignis. Well, I guess that makes sense. With 30 impact and 30 blow, that's an extra 14 defense. So 45 defense, and Sniper's Bow would actually add a bit more attack too. And then Poison Strike, Savage Blow. Wow, that's interesting.
Poison Strike is a very interesting choice to keep on Clarisse. Does she come with it or no? I can't remember.
I think she does. She comes with that and threaten defense.
All right.
All right. A different B skill would definitely go quite a ways, simply because Poison Strike, if she isn't killing, then there's probably something that's not quite gone right. And let's see. Other options, you can use a lull for Clarisse. She actually
prefers a lull.
Yeah, a lull. Let's say speed defense or attack defense would probably be the best ones to go for. Overall, though, this build is extremely budget friendly, except for sturdy impact.
Oh, he's largely free to play. Yeah. I know how that feels. I mean, I got 2 Fave Pass, so I should be saying I'm largely free to play. But yeah. The only thing I would really suggest is removing the B skill. With Sniper's Bow, and this is going to be fixed soon enough, 7 damage to everybody within close, so that's 14 damage. That's actually a lot of damage extra already. You are freeing up your B slot by running Impact and Sturdy Blow, because they can only hit you 1 time and you have another 14 defense. So 45 defense. So yeah, Desperation's not really necessary on her anymore, especially because Sniper's Bow also gives you the ability to have like 5 speed for your support partners nearby. So for me, I think lull speed defense is the perfect option for her. That way it allows her speed to fully be utilized, also allows her to double a lot more often, and stretches her attack a bit higher up. But yeah, she's such a fearsome unit now. Once she attacks, she can smoke her enemy heroes, smoked enemy heroes, which by the way, you might want to consider that too. Because she inflicts attack speed -7, you could also do defense smoke to drop their attack speed and defense, allowing your other heroes to sweep a lot easier. And yeah, attack speed plus 4. That means when she's initiating, she has 52, 56, 62, and 66. That's a lot of damage. And if they somehow survive, the poison strike kicks in. But that's the point. When you're hitting 66, you're doing a really great job. So you should probably drop this down to, again, a lull. That's the only thing I really think this is missing. And maybe consider defense smoke. So lull, speed defense definitely, and defense smoke maybe. As for Ignis, what do you guys think?
I don't know. Ignis seems kind of weird.
Yeah. Working with what's actually here, Bonfire is going to be a lot faster, but it's also going to be tricky to keep everything consistently working because Sniper's Bow prevents counterattacks.
Right.
As long as she's within 2 spaces of her support partner, which is another thing that makes Sturdy Impact a little bit weird, but I suppose it's kind of doubling down on you either cannot counter
Take my
or you
dollars,
cannot
Nims.
double.
Also, could you look at my Ike? I truly appreciate it.
Thanks, Radiant Machination. I will. But yeah, go on, Matt Crash.
No. The only unit that would actually be able to double Clarisse on the counter would be either Myrrh or Byleth, and they would have to sacrifice being able to use Close Call to be able to do it. As far as other things that you could do with Clarisse, if you have Duo Micaiah, consider Close Counter Advantage.
To be honest, I really think Clarisse should be with, her support partner can be another dagger hero. With close counter advantage.
Clarisse does not switch places with her.
Yeah, I know she
partner
doesn't.
like
I'm
does.
aware. I'm aware.
No.
Because she could get the kill off on that one hero, and then you can put your other hero in and just snipe whatever could threaten Clarisse, and then you got the sweep set up. That could work. But yeah, the support partner is entirely different matter.
The reason that I bring up Duo Micaiah is because her duo skill already inflicts defense res -7, and then Sniper's Bow does attack speed -7, so that's plus 28 true damage per hit. And if you've got close counter advantage going on that, there's very little that's going to be reliably surviving against Clarisse in that instance.
Right, but I don't like that because Micaiah with anybody would probably wipe most things out.
I've seen some scary things with that Micaiah.
Yeah. But yeah, those are options in terms of support partners, but in terms of specials, because they might not counterattack, I think Bonfire works really well. But it's up to you. It doesn't really matter as much as like switching this to lull, speed, defense, and maybe consider defense mode. But outside that, like everything's great. The one thing about Savage Blows, sometimes you want to consider like double Savage Blow, because that would be 7, 7, another 7, 21 damage per shot. That could be very deadly as well. Double Sturdy Blow helps you a lot offensively for Clarisse, but sometimes doing a lot of chip damage could like just open up for another hero to finish them off. But yeah, it's up to you. Either way, Clarisse is really flexible now, and she's just a great archer.
So I'm kind of curious about the Sturdy Impact and Sturdy Blow when I think Clarisse is both supposed to negate counterattacks, but you could say it's all in the name of increasing Ignis damage, but just I don't know, it just seems kind of weird.
Sometimes you're not within 2 spaces of your partner, and sometimes she has to go off by her own, in which case, I imagine the idea is like you go in, you get non-counterattack status with your partner set up, you get the kill off, they're gone, and now for the other battles, they could split up, and she doesn't have to rely on her partner to get the, you know, the fire super kind of effect.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, even if you did switch Sturdy Impact, like what would you give her in her A slot?
Probably like Death Blow 4 or something.
Yeah, but then that doesn't...
Maybe Swift Sparrow 4.
Okay.
Or Swift Sparrow 3, I'm sorry.
Swift Sparrow actually is pretty decent on her. Okay. But yeah. It's not ultimately not that big of a difference. That is a good point though. The only other thing is like, could she double back? Could she double? But if she gets that first shot off with speed -7, I think she's fine. But yeah. Great Clarisse. It's nice to see Clarisse.
Yeah. She's pretty good now that her refine made her weapon better. Now all we gotta do is wait for Legion to get his refine.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what he has.
Make Legion very happy.
You know it would. It'd make me pretty happy too.
And oh,
Oh,
my.
Oh my.
All right, straight up, real
Oh.
quick. People have been super like upset and excited
First
at the same
raid
time.
next Nims is doing an out of why League of Legends is his favorite game.
Thanks, Axlush.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that I don't think that'll happen. But Donnell, okay, here's the thing. A lot of people have been saying to me they kind of wish Draig got a Huan Lance kind of weapon and Donnell got a Stalwart Sword kind of weapon. You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Oh,
it feels
something
like
that hurts me.
Right. It feels like it would fit a lot more if they had switched it around.
Yeah.
That said,
Just
though,
with how people build them.
right.
But
It's still nice to see somebody use their Donnell and go for the Hoenn Lance. Alright, so this...
Wow. Speed build, too.
Yeah, this is actually... It feels like this Donnell was supposed to be defensive and he just changed his mind. With the
Probably.
refine, yep.
Based on defense boon.
Okay, so really quickly, 40 plus 10 plus 10, 52 HP, 52 attack, 30 speed, 41 defense, 29 res, Hoenn Lance, swap, bonfire, brazen attack speed 4, desperation 3, throw attack speed 3, brazen attack speed 3. This is all about that attack and speed. Holy crap.
So what does that put him? Let's see. 47 speed up to 54 effective speed with threatened attack speeds, buff and debuff.
So, a lot of speed is what I'll say.
And then that puts him up to, I think brazen attack speed is 9 attack, I want to say. So that'd be 59, 61, 68 attack, 72 initiating with Hoenn Lance, 72, 55 offenses with desperation. Rawr.
I don't even know what you're saying anymore, but it's a big number is all I can figure out. Wait,
Yeah.
9, 16 plus 4, 20, 72 attack.
Yep.
If the threat attack speed triggers, it's 77 times 2. Your opponent's probably dead. Your defense is really high too, so even if they can hurt you, they're not hurting you that much. And his actual speed... Wait a second, this is a quad build because his speed hits 7 plus 10. That's 17. 47 speed, and if the threat attack speed works and drops their speed by 5 and increases yours, this is a quad Donnell. I never thought I would see such a crazy day where there's going to be a quad Donnell.
The brazen attack speed 4 just gives so much speed that he might actually quad even some of the fastest sorties.
Yep. That's so insane. Okay, well, good job. I want to see if this was your original build you intended. Probably not.
Oh, definitely wasn't.
Ah, he's saying... I'll replay that. Ah. Yeah, okay.
You're correct about defense, Donnie Lowell. This build is really scary with my Azur and Donnell Wood. You can see the remnants of my defense in my skills for him.
Whoa.
That makes perfect sense. The crazy thing is, your Ivies aren't ideal, but it works so crazy good.
If you put low attack speed with the speed boon, get that extra 6 speed swing, I think he even doubles or quads some Larsays. Like
Yeah.
base Larsay.
So, I don't have anything bad to say. This is just kind of insane. I never really thought I'd see something like this.
I didn't either. This is definitely a step beyond what I would expect of Donnell, to say the very least.
Yep. That's what I would say as well.
Especially the fact that it's only 30 speed. You'd think that would be pathetic for a quad build.
But it's not. If brazen attack speed 4, brazen attack speed 3. The only issue is setting up. But honestly, with that much defense, you could probably just take a hit. Be
Not to
fine.
mention you have the impact.
Impact.
Thanks to Hone Lance.
Ah, and Foe cannot make a follow-up attack. Right. So he can just hit something harder than you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. That'd also work. Anyways, great job with Donnell. That's just crazy good. My question is whether you're going to continue to run him like this, or this is defensive setup. Because his defensive setup is still really, really good. It's just unfortunate that it didn't work out for him in terms of perf. But this is, if you run this in like Ether Raids or something, like defensively, this could catch people off guard.
Raisins and Ether Raids are definitely something you can stack a little more easily just because of the amount of chip going around. I expect that in Dark, where you can get speed thanks to you, this will be a pain to kill, especially if you run low attack speed, and even more difficult to tank.
Though I will say you might consider going for Gale Force. Bonfire is really good, but your actual damage is really high.
If you swap out a Desperation, I'd agree. You do want at least one counter.
Right. I brought this in because I had Apotheos Anna on the same day. Oh, wow. Congratulations, dude, on a plus 10 Minerva. This is actually the first plus 10 Minerva I've seen thus far.
She's good.
Plus 5, she is really good. Oh, Dark Blessing, though. That does make some sense, because she's not afraid of arrows, so she's just like... And her BST is not lacking at all at 170 with Emerge. Being 170 bin with Merge. 46 HP, 60 attack, 46 speed, 44 defense, and 24 res. Don't get fooled by this, because in actuality, that Dragon Axe is going to add another 4 to everything and guard so long as your opponent's at 100% HP. Also, special trigger cooldown count -1. It's crazy good. Dull Close. I don't really know if you need this, but this does help. If you don't have another B skill to put on her. Threat attack speed, of course, if they get close enough, this is making things even more annoying. Heavy Blade Ether, though. I would have thought this would be Heavy Blade for Gale Force.
That is a common use for her.
Yeah.
But it's not necessary for it to be the same.
But here's the problem with using Ether. It's 4 cooldowns, so you attack -2, they attack -1, you attack -2. You don't actually use it.
Yeah. That said, as long as she's attacking physical opponents, it is more likely than not that she will be ready to go for the next round of combat without having to worry too much about actually dying on that first swing, depending on which phase she engages.
Okay. Well, it depends on a setup, because I'm always been a big proponent of like using the special as soon as you get it on Ether Raid's defense teams, because often enough, if you just charge it up, you'll never use it. Like if all you did was just charge it up, because your opponent's usually accounting for it, and they'll cut you down before you get to use them. That's why things like Instant Gale Force is really deadly on your opponents. Personally, I would say like Lunge Gale Force is something you should think about trying out, because that messes people up a lot. But if you want to go with Ether, definitely go for it. And if she's being baited by a lot of like fully buffed up heroes, Dull Close makes a lot of sense. But yeah, you let me know how it goes. Either way, congrats on making a Max Minerva. I'm just surprised you're not using her offensively. She fits so well on like a lot of Gale Force teams. But I understand too. If you have a flying Dark Blessing team, which Dark Blessing puts her with Yoon, makes some sense. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Provides extra speed, and then as long as Dragoon Axe is factored in, she gets up to 54 speed with just 1 copy of Yoon. To say nothing of the 10-point swing that threat and attack speed introduces if that goes off. And then Dull Close means that she doesn't have to worry about any physical or any melee opponents being buffed whatsoever.
This I can't really judge while seeing your team, but the build itself makes a lot of sense. Alright. Yeah. Just consider Gale Force. If you notice your Ether is not going off, just go to Gale Force. Alright, one second. Let me answer a question first. Thank you, Dreknar. Thank you for follow. Also, we reached 12k followers a while ago, so thank you again, guys.